fucking trailer. Now I think we gotta dive in to the epic that everyone's been fucking waiting. They've been on the edge of their seats to hear what the LOC thinks of the Loki season fucking finale. Rod has thoughts.
Wait. I just want to.
All right, go ahead.
I just want to further word this by saying that if we were to have been in a casino bidding on Mephisto, we would have lost our homes, our wives, our jobs, our savings.
And 3 shows in, still Mephisto. Fuck.
Mephisto's in Armor Wars. I'm going fuck.
I still feel maybe we'll get Mephisto down the road.
At some point, for sure, right? He has to. At
Oh, of
this
course,
point,
yeah, like-
almost every character is gonna appear at some point.
And that is too juicy of a tool to not use story-wise. That's insane. But yeah, so it's almost guaranteed that he's gonna be inserted somewhere eventually. So it's like we're not totally wrong in the biggest picture, technically.
But yeah, let's dive into this review of Loki episode 6, the finale for all time, always. This review is brought to you by the drink of the week on a Monday.
Exactly. Yeah. One hell of a Monday too. Like sometimes you want to end the fucking first work day well, and also to end season 2 of the LOC. We're going with a fan favorite. By fan favorite being me, my favorite. I need to probably refill in a second. We got Basil Hayden's fucking dark rye whiskey. I'm telling you, this has been like so far still my favorite whiskey. I keep buying different whiskeys. This is the one that we're ending season 2 with. Basil Hayden's, we love you. I know you don't love us back, but I love you. And I enjoyed this while watching Loki fucking season finale. Let's get into it.
Facts. And if any fans want to reach out with us concerns regarding Miguel's drinking, please feel free to comment on our Drink of the Week post. And also feel free to reach out to us at legiononzoom@gmail.com. We will make sure he gets all your messages.
With all your concerns, if you have recommendations for better whiskey, feel free to email them at us. Yeah.
Please do not send pictures of your genitals to legiononzoom@gmail.com.
Those will be forwarded to Rod immediately. And by the way, it's the finale of season 1 of Loki because fuck, it's getting a season 2.
Yeah. So that in and of itself, I have thoughts, I have comments, I have questions. Blowing. But obviously, before we begin, just to let everybody know, if you haven't seen season finale of Loki, what the fuck? Obviously, you've all seen it. But obviously,
spoiler alert here.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Let's get into it.
Dude, fucking my mind was blown. You, Miguel, called that shit from deep and also threatened to riot, which I thought about. I'm glad there was no chaos in the streets. It would have been a one-man riot, just a drunken Mexican rampaging
through the Bronx,
gang.
Fucking shit up.
Just yelling gang and cops confused. But, dude, we got Kang.
Word, because fans out there, now that you're done with the series, there's no reason why not to reminisce with all the ways we went wrong and all the ways we went right. So go to our YouTube and check out all the LoZ reviews for the Loki show for the season. And from early on, if Kang was not fucking introduced, I was gonna riot because I couldn't deal with it again. Like after Mephisto, fuck. And also because it was fucking ridiculous. It was so all about time. Like how are you gonna wrap this up without it being Kang? But thankfully they did. Well, also, actually, technically, right? If we're getting technical, it's maybe not Kang, right? Or at least not the version King the Conqueror that we saw.
It's a Kang.
It's
Kang.
Well, it's Nathaniel Richards, right? That's the name of the. All right, so before we get into it too deep, right? So for the fans, obviously, the biggest thing, they made it to the fucking end of time, and they met the person in charge of all of it, the TVA, everybody who was in charge. Got the He Who Remains, played by Jonathan Mayers, who we know what cast as Kang the Conqueror, who original birth given name is Nathaniel Richards. That's his name. And then he has all these different surnames as Kang the Conqueror, Immortus, and now He Who Remains as well.
There was a great post about that up on our Instagram. If you guys want to go check it out, where it lists all of Kang's appearances, and well, not all of them, but the most prominent versions in chronological order, I believe. But yeah, also on a quick side note, his decor color scheme is gold. I did not know that I was in love with black and gold marble until I saw the inside of Chronopolis. That shit is to be envied. I was feeling that color scheme. But also, did you guys notice that one of the statues was broken?
Yeah.
Right. They didn't touch on that at all. Like
they walk in, right, and we see 3 timekeeper statues and then a 4th one who's a broken one. Not really sure. I have theories on what that means, but not 100% sure. Because I've been swirling around that in my head a little bit. Could it have been just like a remnants of a battle? Like, because the timekeepers are fake. So it's like, why did he have statues of them? You know, like, that's odd. And I got a very shout out to the Wizard of Oz. Who wrote that shit? The author of the Wizard of Oz. Shout out to whoever wrote the Wizard of Oz, because the whole interaction with Kang was clearly pulled out from that. You know, like follow the yellow brick road, and they see Richard Pryor. That's from the movie, not from the book. But I think that was very inspired by that. I got a very Wizard of Oz meeting the Wizard vibe, except that this dude is actually extremely powerful, unlike the Wizard. Yes, exactly. To just show. I want to know Rod's thoughts, because Rod has
I have questions because Nathaniel Richards is what, like a grandson to Reed Richards?
All right, shit. So it gets complicated, right? So I've been doing my best to try to disentangle thing online, reading, but because apparently Kang's history is convoluted to begin with. Like it is, and there's no real way. It's a lot of like kind of retconning and figuring things out. So his real name's Nathaniel Richards. Apparently, in one version of reality or whatever, he is the descendant of Reed Richards, and also related to Doom as well. So it's like a Reed Richards Doom great grandson or some shit like that. Unclear. Okay. Also, there's other speculations that people also say that it might be actually Reed's father, whose name is Nathaniel Richards, who also is a time traveler himself. So, but apparently it's like in versions of realities, different Earths, you know, that's the case. But like the proper 616 Kang, I don't think it's been officially like defined. All we know is that's his name, you know. That's or at least one of them.
Yeah, because I thought I had a super hot take, but apparently I do not. So my hot take was that this is a Reed Richards that we're seeing, that Jonathan Majors is going to be Reed Richards. Just because of the Jonathan Hickman run of Fantastic Four, where he meets his multiversal selves, and some of them are evil. I think one of them even becomes like Immortus or something like that. I forget. It's really good run, one of the best of that I've read for Fantastic Four. But yeah, I figured that, you know, it just makes a lot of sense to just, he is a Reed, and you know he had like this like consortium of other Reed Richards, right? Like,
and so that's comic accurate though. So I also kind of got a little bit misled by that, because I didn't know, but you're right, exactly. In the Jonathan Hickman run, we get Reed Richards creating the Council of Reeds, right? Which is this epic group of Reed Richards across the fucking multiverse, right?
Oh shit! What? Yeah. What if that's what inspired the Council of Wells on the Flash show?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you're right. It might have come from that. But actually, even before that, Kang had a Council of Kangs actually already.
What the fuck?
So that's kind of what they were alluding to here. Like he had the Council of something Kangs. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, word.
And so they did do that too. So regardless of it being, if they want to go that route and have him become Reed Richards, which I would kind of be down for. Even if
here
not,
first, people.
Yo, shit.
Hot take.
Regardless, this is the closest we've gotten to the Fantastic Four. Like, they gotta do this.
Dude,
yeah, and I thought
that's insane.
Yeah, I thought the premise of him as a villain. Well, he's kind of like not necessarily a villain in this version of himself. He's trying to maintain an order that benefits him, but he's not like an overlord. Like, well, the TVA are like enslaved by him. Fuck. But
Facts.
what I'm trying to say is that because of the actions of the episode, apparently a true evil Kang may be unleashed, right? Because of what the two Lokis end up doing. But yeah, so I thought it was just a great idea to make a villain who's protecting the universe from his multiversal selves.
That's
I know
wild,
you're always talking
bro.
about the one, Ches. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
facts.
this shit or something. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's a really cool story. Like when he was narrating like his origin or what he wanted them to know about it or whatever. I thought that shit was really cool, man.
that shit was like the intro for the movie The One with Jet Li. Fans, don't watch the whole movie because it's kind of trash. But watch like the first like 5 minutes where they explain the multiverse. It's so lit. Like that concept was very well done the way they did it story-wise. And also, Rod, you kind of called it too, where there was like they had a moment where they were like in the Matrix. They walked in, they sat with the architect, and he explains, but they didn't go that far. Like they didn't make it as verbose. Like they made it easier to digest. They had a PowerPoint presentation.
Right.
Like
Yeah, there were
it
two
was nice.
doors. He's like, you can go through
Fact.
this door or that door. What do you want to do?
Right. And
Yeah,
then
facts.
what I loved about it all too is like even at the end, we don't know how much of it was true or not, right? Because I did also get that feeling that he was still kind of lying at some points. Because even at one point he did say, like he straight up said, "All right, I fibbed." Like he was lying about like not knowing, knowing everything, right? Because he's like, "Oh, we passed the threshold. Now I don't know." I still feel he was maybe some things he's lying because right we don't really know why did he want to quit, right? He left it up, right? First of all, he said the Lokis were meant to get there, right? Is that true or is that not, right? We don't know, right? It made it seem like that's exactly what he wanted. And then he said like giving them the choice to become the new Time Lord type things, or to just kill him and then see what happens. It's like, why would he want to quit, right? We still don't know that. What's his deal? I think it might have something to do with Rabona, Renslayer, who's the judge, who in the comic books, he's like in love with and shit. So maybe he because also we saw that Miss Time thing, right? The little digital shit. Miss Minutes, exactly. Gave Rabona the like some documents, and she's like, "This isn't what I needed." She's like, "But that's what we think you need. This will benefit you." And then she leaves. We don't know what Kang gave her or anything. So we're like, all right.
Word, I hadn't even thought of that because remember, because then she left and she was like I'm gonna go find out some shit. And then like, what if he knew that he was gonna die? Like, I know at some point he didn't say, okay, I don't know what happens here, but he kind of like he extrapolated that he was gonna get murdered. So he sent her on a path to find a way to end the multiversal war, like knowing that it was gonna happen. Because I think so. It's kind of the fuck shit with time travel is like things can happen instantaneously. Because remember, at the end of the episode, they forget who even Loki was, and you already have a Kang that took over the TVA in the instant that he got back from the room. So, like, what the fuck? Like, that's insane. It's like, did things change that quick?
Yeah, that's the part that's for me. I'm also just confused, and I love it, right? About how the multiverse, we saw the multiverse fucking come to life. Loki already stepped into one of it, a different Earth, right? That's already Kang's running the TVA there. Proper Kang the Conqueror, right? Because the outfit that we saw Jonathan Majors have at the end, He Who Remains, was very actually Immortus like, which is the old. Technically, as far as we can know, the versions of Kang that we know is like the youngest one becomes actually is like a hero. He was a member of the Young Avengers, Iron Lad. So he had this Iron Man armor. And then after him, we have I think it's Ramatut. I think he goes to the past and becomes fucking a pharaoh and shit. Which also I like. I'm glad that Jonathan Majors is the one because it makes more sense for someone to be black and rule in the past, like in ancient Egypt, than a white person. So then, Yeah, so then it makes sense historically. Like, so that's another one. Then there's the Scarlet Centurion, I think, who would be the next age chronologically, who's I don't remember what his deal is. Then we get Kang the Conqueror, and then the last one is the oldest version of him is Immortus, who in the comic books technically actually works with He Who Remains, who He Who Remains was basically designated by the timekeepers to protect like the time stream, and so he works with Immortus. So right now, what they did in the comic book, in the show, they mix them both together, right? Yeah. Very a la Sylvie, no, with Enchantress / Lady Loki, which I'm with it.
Word, I'm kind of digging this new like tactic of like transfiguration or amalgamation of characters, like where they just like mush them together, but they have to be careful with what two characters they do it with so it works. And you could tell they put a lot of thought into it. Like, who could we cut, or like not even who could we cut, what character could we absorb into another one? Not even mix them, because if you think about it, it's more layered than that. They're absorbing one character into another one, which I'm enjoying that. And a quick shout out to Feige, because I remember where I saw on the Insta webs where it was like he just had a meeting with the whole production crew or whatever, or like all his generals of his army, so to speak, on all the rules for the multiverse. So they know that they're on like very thin ice. Yes. And any crazy fuck up could like send shit just catapulting into total anarchy. Make no sense. So they established a lot of hard rules that we're going to get to see. And now I think I'm understanding the grandeur of the Eternals movie. They broke time. Maybe that let the Eternals, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that's why they're getting involved. Like, whoa.
Right. And yes. We got to question whether or not like any of the upcoming movies take place in the same timeline. Like how deep is this going to go? Like, how soon will they be referenced in the other movies?
Facts. Because remember, in the Eternals trailer, they showed them in different stages of time and shit.
All right, so I'm gonna blow your minds right now, just because I'm fucking right now. After this, I went on my Marvel Unlimited app because I don't know Kang all that well. I know a few things here and there. Most of the more contemporary shit that's been written, but I'm like, yo, there's like mad history there because he is one of the classic Avengers villain. He's not much of a Fantastic Four villain. He's more of an Avengers villain. And I didn't really start reading Avengers until like the Bendis run, and so I'm reading now, like on Marvel Limited, there's this story called Citizen Kang. It's just kind of like very Citizen Kane, right? Like,
nice.
Just as good as the Orson Welles film. That includes the Eternals to some degree, because it has members of the Avengers traveling through different points in time, and then they encountered the Eternals at those stages in history. Like I just read this issue with Captain America meeting Gilgamesh, who's like the historical Gilgamesh from like Mesopotamia, like back in those days. Damn. Who is an Eternal, who he's in the movie. And so it's like, shit, like I would love to see that shit. Like, how is that going to get involved? And like you're saying, exactly, now the time's like the time's been broken. Like, that's why the Eternals are going to get involved. I don't know.
Like, bro, I just call Goosebumps again, because it's like, when they announced the Eternals movie, people were like, why the fuck are they making an Eternals movie? Even though it's epic and it's grandeur, we were like, okay, they're trying to mine for obscure characters, and that's awesome. Turn around, when you look back on it, they're making an Eternals movie because they were going to break time at the end of Loki. Fucking Feige. Damn.
Also, the question comes to whether, is it breaking time, right? Because remember, what was it? I think in the episode, the Lamentus episode, right when they're about to like make out or whatever, is it incest? I don't know what it is, maybe, right? But like the two Lokis that they're like talking about, like they're having this beautiful moment before the doors open. Sylvie says something about like life wants to break free or something, or wants chaos, and so it makes me feel like it's not that time was broken; it's that it got restored. Like the natural state of things is the multiverse, not this constrained, sacred, quote unquote, timeline, right? Like, and so now things are freed to how they used to be, how they should be. Hopefully this brings fucking, what's those big ass cosmic beings? Like fucking.
Damn, the ones that are above the Eternals, the Celestials.
Well, no, not Celestials. I'm thinking above that. Like there's one being that like
the Justice League.
Snyder.
He comes through the fucking multiverse. Damn.
No, because there is exists eternity exists, exactly that eternity, who's an entity who includes all of the universes and within him. And like stuff like that. So it's like fuck, like he was there's this awesome image, actually we'll have it up here, from Al Ewing's Ultimates run, where eternity is chained. I don't remember by who it was, and so it might be, I don't know, like fuck, it's gonna get complicated and crazy.
Bro, just a snippet. Eternity is chained. That's some Trivium level fucking English right there. Yo, shout out to Trivium. Shout out to Matt Heafy. Anyway, but yo, like the scope of this shit is getting massive. Damn, yo, do you think that they would go that big? Because okay, so like, all right, so for the fans, there is both in DC and Marvel. One tends to be a bit messier than the other. I'd say Marvel, but maybe they're getting it in order now. They have a cosmic order. So it's like, so above people like Thor and shit like that, who are technically gods with a small g, you have people like the Eternals, who then above that, you have people like the Celestials. Then above the Celestials, you would have like the Living Tribunal. Then above the Living Tribunal, you would have like elemental ancient concepts of existence, like eternity itself.
Yeah, death. There's actually chaos and order, death. You're right, exactly. There's all these concepts, abstracts of fucking that are personified in the Marvel universe.
Dude, yo, damn. Do you think they would go that far? That's that Gaiman-esque shit.
Yes, I hope so. And just to correct you too, I wouldn't put Eternals above Thor and their god and like the Asgardian gods. I think they're probably around the same. Yeah. Well, if anything, even I don't know, even Thor and Asgard would be bigger, because Thor and all the Asgardians reincarnate after Ragnarok. It's a thing they go through, and they do come back. They don't really ever really fully die. The Eternals only do that thanks to celestial technology, because they were created by the Celestials from a mix of old, ancient, human, like, I don't know, Neanderthal shit. I don't know.
All right, so let's get super nerdy, though. Because there's layers to this shit. So I would say that the Eternals are above the Asgardians, but they're not above Odin, because it's whoever possesses the Odin force that's the Allfather. You know what I mean? Like,
all right.
Like,
wait, so you mean like the Eternals are above the typical Asgardian, like a random, like, the barkeep?
OD. And to be honest, they would be above the court of gods, but not Odin.
But not Thor, though, because the MCU Thor is like extremely powerful now after Ragnarok.
No,
one of the most powerful beings
but that's the thing. Not now, because now Thor has the Odin force, I would assume. He's that Odin. But the Eternals would be above Thor in Thor 1.
I don't know about that.
We gotta wait and see the movie. I don't know that much. I can't debate this.
Yeah, no, and I gotta read. I read there was this one I think I mentioned before, which was I think written by Neil Gaiman, and it was illustrated by John Romita Jr. an Eternals book. Fucking loved it. It was great. I would recommend it. And there's a current book right now, which I think is by Al Ewing, which I've been talking about him before. I also hope if you're watching this, you've been listening, going on our YouTube and going on our podcasts, but wherever you get your podcasts, to check out our NCBD picks. And that's where I've been talking a lot about Al Ewing's current writings. And they he's doing an Eternals book right now. I think it's him. Or it's Kieran Gillen. I don't know. It's one of the British authors. I don't know. But for us to figure out more about Eternals right now. But
dude,
yes,
like it's fucking nuts. And by the way, I just thought about this shit, and I'm just like, what? Like, I can't even really fucking process it. Like, okay, so before I get into that, so another thing I'm starting to notice in the like larger scope of like the narrative in the comment sections of the intrawebs, a lot of fans are starting to process the end of Loki, and the general sentiment is legit like, this is a lot. Like,
right?
Like, it's awesome, but it's like, wait, what? Like, what's happening? And for like, how the fuck are they gonna work the scrolls into all this shit? We completely forgot about that. Like there's scrolls on Earth, time is broken, Nick Fury's on the fucking moon. Like, yo, all that shit is like, wait, what? It's a lot.
And it might not necessarily need to be connected with the scrolls. I don't know. Like they might still be able to do like the regular, like, you know, like Moon Knight series is gonna come out, She-Hulk. I don't think they're all gonna have to do with all this. They're still the day-to-day lives that we want to see.
No, yeah, but remember though, those are individual heroes doing their thing. You know, you got She-Hulk doing her thing in court. You got Moon Knight being crazy, rich, and handsome. But then at the same time, it's like, but the scrolls are like everywhere though. This is an event. So like, you know what I mean? Like Secret Invasion wasn't like it was a thing. It was like its own crisis in a way.
Imagine when Sylvie stabbed Immortus, it would have turned into a scroll. Oh,
fuck! No.
But one thing about back to the episode one, I did love how it opened everything up. Jonathan Majors, right? He did a fucking great job, and I still think he's Reed Richards. I'm calling it now. It didn't necessarily resolve things with the Loki show, like, but that's okay because we're getting a season 2, hopefully not too far in the future. But yeah, it just kind of had, it kind of felt like a mid-season finale to me. But again, of the 3 shows we've had so far, this is definitely the best of the 3.
What? Nah, I'm still nah with it. Like I loved all this, but I this is still the show I like the least out of the 3.
No. For me, I like. Okay, you know what? Let's do this then. Fucking. So let's rate the Disney Plus verse MCU thus far. So for me, it would go Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, WandaVision.
Damn. Fuck. All right, Rod, Capella.
Loki, WandaVision, Falcon.
Shit. I would actually, I think I would go WandaVision, Falcon, and Captain America and Winter Soldier, and then Loki. Because my reason, because you mentioned it right now, Rod, because honestly, I think what did we love about the finale? What did we love about Loki? The potential, right? Like, what does this mean for the Marvel Universe? What are the next stories that it's going to tell? Not so much about what happened right now, like the story in it of itself from like a season from beginning to end. It was okay. Like, and so I'm mostly excited for what it's going to do, right? Like, which is fine, but I still think it's weak, you know? Like, I would want to know, with all the other shows, even if they don't impact too much the universe, which we know they will, right? But not as significantly as Kang, for sure. I enjoyed from beginning to end, like, them by themselves, you know? Like, if we were to think they're individual movies, like a movie we saw, like Loki would have been more like, oh, okay. Like, it just, what's the next thing then? Like, it felt like all a major setup. It was all a setup, all preparing for the next stage of the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it differently because I never was. We kind of knew Kang was coming, but I was never like, oh my God, I got to see Kang. Like the whole Mephisto thing, like this one was like, anybody could have been on the other side of that door. It could have been another Loki. It could have been
Nick
Mobius, Nick Fury. Yeah, I didn't think it had, for me, it wasn't about like the big payoff at the end. It was about the story between Loki and his undying love for himself. So much so that he traverses the multiverse to find himself in female form to perhaps, spend the rest of his life with himself. But I like the love story and I love the aesthetics of the show.
Yes.
And obviously Tom Hiddleston is the strongest lead we've had in, well, I'll take a step back because Elizabeth Olsen was amazing as Wanda, but still, man, fucking Tom Hiddleston.
Dude, what about Paul Bettany, bro?
But Elizabeth Olsen, come on, like
she was the best.
Paul Bettany was kind of like
Evan Peters supporting. Too as the boner guy.
Wait for a second. So you dub Paul Bettany and you bring up Ralph Boner, Evan Peters.
Yeah. I love this character.
Wow. Okay. And I'm glad that, correct me if I'm wrong, all 3 of our lists were completely different.
Yes. And this is why you viewers and
Exactly.
listeners check out the LoZ. We would love to actually know right now if you're watching it on YouTube right now, if you're seeing us on fucking Apple Podcasts, leave a comment section. We would like to know your rating. How would you rate these 3 shows? And then we will tally up to see who's the fucking correct one of us 3.
So what do you guys rate this episode? The finale.
10.
10. 10.
Fuck. 10. Fuck. Because, the consequences, the effects, the context, like everything. Like I felt watching this episode the same way I felt like when they did any big reveal that we were in the theater watching a movie and shit. Like when they were talking to Loki, like I felt like it was like the buildup when like Thanos was putting like the fucking stones in the gauntlet type shit. Like I felt anxious. No, fuck. Like 10.
Oh, word. And actually, there's another. I wanted to ask you guys. Do you guys think this is as big as that infamous after credit scene in Avengers, right? Where we see Thanos, right? That we see Loki, like the whoever was in charge, talking to Thanos. Like, because for me, it kind of feels like it, right? Because this is he going to set up to be the next big bad of the MCU?
I mean, of course, he has to be. Like there's no way you could like underplay the importance of Kang. I think the fans would riot at that point. If there's a big bad that's not Kang, like after this whole introduction, who's it gonna be?
Right. What do you think, Rod?
The Fantastic Four would be the next place. So whenever they get introduced, when does that come out? I already lost track of the phases.
There's no. They just said it's in the works. Like, but there's nothing. Yeah. There's no information of who's like really writing it, other than John Watts is listed to be involved, which is the director of the last Spider-Man films. That's as much as we know. Oh, because that's the only thing I'm also a little bit confused now. Now that we're gonna get a Loki season 2, wait, so where is Kang? Where are we gonna get more Kang? Like, is it because he's gonna be an Ant-Man, I guess, right? But then season 2 Loki. Thing. But how is the main bad?
It could be all that shit. It could be all that shit because time. It could be all of that.
Was he credited as Kang or the one who remains on this episode?
Because I think he who remains was the way he was.
He who remains. Right. All right.
Yeah, but also fuck around. Disney's so epic that they could be like, yo, people are gonna look at the credits, just call him He Who Remains. Like straight up, like just to fuck with us. That's totally possible.
Yeah, maybe the first appearance of Kang proper is in the Ant-Man Quantumania.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because I just fucking thought of something. So this, I don't know if I'm just me speculating wildly or maybe just a little dab of Occam's razors, like scaling up the way we're going. In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, we're going to get a proper Galactus event.
Hell yes.
Think about that. Because they have to go bigger than Kang. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, in the order of power, I see it as, like, Thanos with the gauntlet, Kang fucking with all of time in reality, maybe Mephisto with, like, shit that has to do with, like, hell and shit like that, and then Galactus. A proper Feige-driven Galactus. Holy fuck.
Not to be a contrarian, which I usually am, but I'll put Kang over Galactus.
What?
Galactus threatens Earth.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Kang threatens the multiverse.
No. Kang, but that's the thing. Galactus doesn't threaten Earth. Galactus threatens the universe.
No.
It's not just Earth.
No.
Dude, he eats planets all the time.
But he can't consume the universe because that's his sustenance.
Yeah, he eats planets to stay alive. And then the other thing with Galactus, it's also he's not like evil. He does it he's a force of nature. He just needs to eat. Kang is manipulating shit to do like it's more I don't know. Yeah, I would say Kang is above Galactus. I could see Galactus in a Fantastic Four movie. Like I'd probably be happy with that.
I don't know, bro. I think you guys are wilding because remember, I think that Galactus is older than Kang. Galactus's origin is he's the last survivor of the universe before the Big Bang. That shit matters, bro. I'm telling you, calling it.
Yeah, he's a force of nature. Yeah.
He's also a multiversal traveler. That's how he became, right? He landed into the new Big Bang. And then he became Galactus.
He's the sole survivor of the other. Yeah.
Facts. Fuck, dude. this is just too much. Eventually, we need time off to process all this shit. Hence the season finale. It's too much. We can't take it. I'm gonna go cry in the fetal position.
Wait. All right. So Ches, you gave it a 10.
10.
I'm gonna give this episode, the finale, I'm gonna give it. Fuck it. I'm gonna give it a 9.
I was gonna go 8.
All right. I was
For a
debating
solid
that too.
9.
Really?
Because it was like my 3rd or 4th favorite episode. It wasn't like, even in the top. The top is the pilot or the first episode, then the Journey into Mystery episode 5, and maybe this one at 3, or maybe episode 2, whatever. But the whole season, I'd give that like an 8.5.
All right, and also just one more question before we call it. Best finale. Yo, fans, go to YouTube so you can see the thought enter Miguel and Rod's eyes.
Yeah.
Yo, they stopped being on a podcast when I asked them.
Damn, that's a tough one.
Best finale. But I go Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yo, I don't. Well, you're
That's a tough
right.
one.
That was a good finale.
That was
kind of cheesy, I thought.
You're kind of cheesy. I think.
I think I'm gonna go with WandaVision. Just because it had a cool multiverse. I mean, this one had the biggest multiversal teaser, but that one had like the first one because it apparently leads into Doctor Strange too. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm in between. I don't know. I think I actually might even want to give it to this one just because of Kang and what it sets up and the bigger universe as a whole, I guess. But I don't know. I might have to. I don't know. Yeah, because WandaVision might have been the best. I'm gonna go with WandaVision because remember that finale? She had to see her kids and her fucking Vision die, and that was intense after battling Agatha Harkness epically, and then trapping her in that fucking Pleasantville fucking place. Like, no, that was epic. And like we got Monica Rambeau being a badass too. No, I think WandaVision finale was the best so far.
And because you guys didn't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the both of you are racist. Cancel Miguel, cancel Rada. And on that note, fans, this is the season 2 finale. Love you, gentlemen. Love you guys. This is Ches. We'll see you in a bit. Catch us on Instagram, catch us on YouTube, all that usual nonsense. We love you. All that.
That's right. This is Miguel. We'll see you guys soon. Peace out.
It's Rod. Peace.
Deuces.